Okay, so hello. My name is Angela Pineda. I'm currently work as an ultrasound technician here at the company at Hackensack. I've been here for about, let's say, about a year or so. Um, in my role, I focus on doing diagnostic imaging, having direct patient care, and analyzing any information, supporting communications, and coordinating anything that we need to do in the office. Um, Today, I want to briefly present a paper I wrote for you guys. It's for my social neurobiology class. I believe that it reflects how I think, how I analyze, how I apply it in a practical way, and everything. And this paper was titled Anxiety in the Brain: A Social Neurobiology Perspective. I chose this topic because anxiety is something nearly everybody experiences, but very few people understand from a biological standpoint. I was especially interested in how social environments like, public health crises and, how uncertainty and as well as, media exposures and especially like advocating on this illness itself can actually shape how our brains respond to stress and actually make an impact on other people. So my paper had three main sections. The first one I explained is that the brain's threat system. So, what it means is that there is a part of the brain named the amygdala that functions as an alarm system. When it detects danger, it activates a stress response, um, increasing heart rate and releasing stress hormones. Secondly, I discuss regulation. The prefrontal cortex helps control and calm the fear responses in our brains, but when stress becomes chronic or very, very persistent in our brains, like all the time, the regulation in our brain weakens, so which can lead to persistent anxiety. Third, I connected this to social environments, right? So we're very socially active people. We are humans. We love to talk. We love to communicate. We love to switch ideas. And I like that too. I really like to communicate with other people. Really like to bounce off on ideas and, honestly communicate and effectively as possible, especially in this topic. Anxiety just doesn't happen individually, it spreads socially. So we are socially people. So we want to actually try to um, advocate for this illness. And honestly, when groups are under pressure, especially like high end pressured groups like nurses, doctors, ultrasound technicians, direct patient care positions, the stress response and the fear responses can really amplify over time. And that really brings, communication issues, uncertainty, and even as badly as leadership, it affects everything. This topic really speaks to me because I'm interested in how biology influences the behavior aspect and the neuroscience aspect of it, but how really understanding can and improve communications and how we as people can try to improve that. Um, when we understand that, we have anxious brains to process information differently, we can all try to learn and adapt and communicate and try to see how this works. Thank you for your time. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Okay. All right. You have a question? Yes. So, good question. How would I acknowledge apply in a company setting? So that's a great question. Um, when people are stressed, their brains often prioritize threat detection. So over like reasoning, that really means is that we need clarity, transparency, and honestly emotional regulation in this such situation from the leadership part of our brain that can become extremely important and really, really solid so that we can fix this. Understanding anxiety from a neurological perspective allows our companies, and especially big, big companies like Hackensack, to communicate more effectively during high pressure situations and as well maintain trust. So while this paper is mostly focused on neuroscience, it also, the application is very, very practical and it can very help you in many such ways. Are there any other questions? No? Okay. If there's no more questions, thank you for your time again. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.